Yesterday was the first day of fall, and I don't know about you, but I am in the mood for all of the fall cozy type of meals. Today I'm going to share with you 5 of my favorite fall meals that you can make on a budget of $70 or less. So if you've seen some of my past videos, you know that I like to share budget meals, and in I think my most recent meal video that I shared, it was 5 dinners on a $45 budget. And I've shared another one that's like 6 easy meals on a $50 budget. So today's is a $70 budget, which is obviously a little higher of a budget for 5 meals. But I wanted to be able to have a little bit more variety in this meal plan. So we're having a pot roast, we're having some chicken wings, so a few more things. So I just wanted to let you know that so you realize it's not quite as, I guess, super frugal meals, but I believe it's still a really good price for what you are getting. Now, if you are on a tight budget and you're wanting those fall feeling foods, I would always suggest soup, because that you're gonna get the most bang for your buck with soup. You can make soups really inexpensively. A potato soup, for instance, which is one of the meals on this meal plan, that can be really inexpensive, especially like with the recipe that I'm sharing today. It doesn't call for any heavy creams or anything like that. That's more expensive. So you're just using a lot of potatoes, some carrots. So that would be a really frugal, budget-friendly option. Other soups like a 3-bean chili, you could even do that without any meat in it, and that would be very budget-friendly. Or just a classic chicken soup. You can get a whole chicken, make your own broth, put as little or as much chicken as you want in it, and that's going to be a very inexpensive but also cozy fall meal. So yeah, if you're looking for those really especially budget-friendly meals, I would say soup is always going to be a safe bet for you there. Okay, now let's talk about the 5 dinners that I'm sharing with you today. We're gonna talk through each of them, and then at the end, I will show you all of the groceries that you need. And again, all of the groceries cost me about $70. If you already have stuff on hand or whatever, it will hopefully cost you even less than that. Okay, meal number 1 is a pot roast. This is a crock pot roast. If you don't have a crock pot, you could make it in the oven. The recipe that I'm gonna link to is with a crock pot. But again, it doesn't have to be. But a pot roast, I feel like, is just such a cozy, comforting sort of meal. This would make a great meal for wintertime too. This last time that I made the pot roast, I wanted to cook it for a nice long time, and so I thought I'd cook it the day before. It was supposed to be done in the crock pot at around 9 at night, and then I was gonna put it in the fridge for the next day. Well, I totally forgot about it, and so after like 10 hours, my crock pot, it was on low, and after about 10 hours, it turns off and then goes to warm. So it turned and went to warm. Thankfully, it didn't just turn off, and it was just on warm all night long. And in the morning, I was like, oh no, it's gonna be super dry. It was on all night long, but it really wasn't. Like the very top, like a little part was dry, but other than that, it was just super tender, falling apart, but really good. So if you ever do that on accident, as long as your crock pot is on low, keeping it nice and hot, it should be fine. Mine still had plenty of the juices in it and everything, so. Anyways, and it's really good when you let it cook a long time. I wouldn't normally suggest that long, but if you let it go like a good 8, 9, 10 hours in the crock pot on low, that really helps it really break down and become nice and tender and juicy and delicious. Moving on to meal number 2, that is wings with a side of potato fries. I'm putting sweet potato fries on this menu, but if you don't care for sweet potatoes, you could do, normal homemade fries. But wings, definitely a little bit more of a splurge. They're more expensive with less meat than like drumsticks or, another cut of chicken. But wings are really good, and I know a lot of people enjoy them this time of year watching football, so I wanted to include those on here. Now, when I make the wings, the best way to do it is if you have like a wire rack. Mine is what I use, when bread comes out of the oven or whatever, to let it cool, but it is also oven safe. So I just spread my wings out, space them evenly on that wire rack, and that helps them to just get perfectly crispy and cook really well. So I found that to be a great way to make the wings. And then I can just barely fit the wire rack in the dishwasher, and that gets it clean. Like if you have to scrub it by hand, it's a big pain, but if you can fit it in the dishwasher, it comes nice and clean. By the way, if you hear background noise, my kids are playing outside. Sometimes it sounds like they're crying, but they're actually really happy right now. I can see them from the window, so they're just making happy noises, I guess. Okay, meal number 3 is taco soup. I'm pretty sure I've shared this recipe on here on one of my videos with you guys before, but I make this taco soup all the time. It's the one soup that my kids all really like. We serve it with tortilla chips usually, shredded cheese, sour cream, and it's delicious, and yeah, we love it. Now I have a picture of the taco soup, but I didn't take a video or anything the last time I made it with chicken. This is the chicken taco soup. So this video that I'm showing you is a very similar recipe, but with ground beef. You can make it either way, but on this particular meal plan, it is a chicken taco soup. Okay, fourth is a sheet pan meal. Sheet pan meals are great because you're putting everything on one pan and cooking it all together. So this is a chicken, broccoli, and sweet potato dinner. It comes out really pretty. You put purple onions in it, and so you have those bright colors, and it's easy and it's delicious, and it seems, I don't know, something about the sweet potatoes in there make it seem really perfect for fall. And finally, number 5 is a potato soup. Now this is the one meatless meal that I have on this meal plan. If you have bacon on hand and you want to sprinkle that on top, we've done that and it's super delicious, but you can also just have it plain and it is great like that too. You can make it super creamy, like blend it all up really well, or you can have it more chunky, however you prefer your potato soup. Either way, it is a really nourishing, warm fall meal. Okay, now that we've talked through all the meals, let me show you all the groceries that you are gonna need. Here is a look at all the ingredients that you will need for these 5 fall meals. So let's start over here with the meat and just take a look at everything. First of all, we have a chuck roast here. I got this when it was on sale at Kroger for $3.97 a pound. That's the typical sale price that I've seen recently. I honestly never buy it when it's not on sale. Like, that price there is just, in my opinion, that's pretty crazy for chuck roast. It goes on sale somewhat often, I feel like, at the $3.97 a pound. So not as cheap as it used to be, but still a much better price than when it's not on sale. So this is just about 3 pounds of chuck roast, closest I could get to 3 pounds. So we are doing that for 1 meal. Then chicken breasts, we will use these for 2 meals. This is 5 pounds. I believe I put 4.5 pounds on the meal plan that you can see on my blog, but this is just the one I happen to get. It is 5 pounds. Normally I wait till it's $1.99 a pound. This one I had a $2 off coupon for, so I just went ahead and got it at that price. But normally I will get it for $1.99 a pound. And then we will be doing chicken wings for a meal. Now I just wanted to go ahead and pick these up to be able to show you guys, but again, normally I get a little better price than that. That seems pretty pricey per pound to me, but I went ahead and got them just so I could show them to you. So we will use those for 1 meal, the breasts for 2 meals, the chuck roast for 1 meal, and then we have a meatless meal. Honestly, especially if you get a bigger package of the breasts, you could probably even do a little additional chicken with the meatless meal if you wanted to have some. A lot of times with this big of a package, I will stretch it to 3 meals. But for this meal plan, I was just planning on 2 meals with that chicken. Okay, moving on. You will need taco seasoning mix. So I have a packet here. Cheese, at least 2 cups, cheddar or a blend. This is really nice to have. I usually have homemade chicken broth on hand, but if you don't normally have that, this is great. It tastes good. It's nicer than just like the powdery stuff. So that is on the meal plan. The price of that is like $4 something. Here is off-brand Rotel. You'll need a can of black beans and a can of pinto beans, and then one of these larger cans, the 28-ounce can of petite diced tomatoes, or just regular diced. I like the petite diced. It's just not quite as big chunks, so my kids like that better. You'll need some ranch. If that's something you already have on hand, you don't need a bunch of it, so you won't necessarily need to buy that if you already have some in your fridge. Also butter, you just need a stick of butter. So if you already have some, then you can skip buying that. Milk, you need some milk, not a whole gallon. But again, if you don't have any, you'll want to pick some of that up. We'll be using that in the potato soup, and maybe in one of the other recipes, I can't remember. Then you'll need some frozen corn, a red onion, and I think I had a yellow onion on my meal plan, but white is what I had on hand. So it doesn't really matter, whatever you have. Carrots, garlic, some potatoes. I believe I put 4 large potatoes on my meal plan. This ended up being cheaper for me to just get a bag of potatoes, and this will be plenty. Let's see, that is 3 pounds right there. So yeah, that will be plenty of potatoes. And then I have a big 5-pound bag of russet potatoes, and then 2 heads of broccoli. So there you have it. All of this will make our 5 fall meals. Now, when I originally got all of this stuff, when I priced it all out, it came out to exactly $67 and change. I shouldn't say exactly. I don't remember the exact amount. It was $67. And that was with those prices that I told you, the $3.97 a pound and $1.99 a pound. And the wings, I think they were around $3 a pound. I can't remember. You'll have to look at the blog post. But I looked at all those prices and wrote them all out on my blog post last fall. This year, looking at them, they are all pretty similar. They really haven't changed much since last fall. So you still should, if you can find those prices on the meat, you still should be able to get all of this for right around $70. Now I want to hear from you guys. Tell me, what is one of your favorite meals to make in the fall? I know that a lot of times in the fall we think pumpkin and we think apples, and we tend to think some of those sweeter things, which I love those too. But I'm curious, what are some of the savory dinner, entrees or whatever that you like to make in the fall? Let me know, and also let me know if you try some of these recipes. I will of course link everything in the description box so that you can see all the recipes and the ingredients and everything. Okay guys, thanks so much for being here today. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe, and I will be back with more soon.